Woo!
Welcome to part 2 for this Q&A. We have Solarian Waffle. Just to read this question again, this is going to be good. I might go a little while for this because it's the same battle royales over and over. It's been popping off really. So he asked, this is Solarian Waffles question. He said, with battle royale being such a popular game mode, what type of game idea would you come up with to innovate and become the next big thing? Now, I did a little bit of thinking, and it's just so many, and he's right when he's absolutely right when he says this. Battle Royale is just so huge right now because it's a lot of games. Everybody's trying to do Battle Royale. Now, just think about it recently. Apex Legends, from the makers, Respawn Entertainment, the makers and developers of Titanfall was for first-person shooters, and now they wanted to come out with a Battle Royale of their own. So we got Apex Legends that everyone's playing. I can't play that every day. So I just gotta read this again. What type of what game idea would you come up with to innovate and become the next big thing? Since Battle Royales is such a popular thing. Now, if I'm gonna just make a game like right now, I'm just gonna think about something right now. I want to think of a game that's gonna try to come and just compete to the Battle Royale games. I'm gonna be thinking about a story. Cause you wanna know why? Because single player games today are still some of the best games that you can get into. Notice, game of the year is always like a single player game or single player experience every time. God of War, Red Dead Redemption. Don't think about that multiplayer because no one's really playing it online anymore, really hardly. Let's see. I already said God of War and Red Dead Redemption. Spider-Man was already up there, and then let's go back and rewind it. Horizon Zero Dawn was also another Game of the Year contender, and then Game of the Year winners. Let's see, Witcher. The Witcher 3 was another recent single player game from a couple years ago. Single player. God of War, Witcher 3, and then The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Single player game. It's so many different games out there, and then some of those other games that were up there to compete with it. Super Mario Odyssey was in it. Was in the top. Was in the Game of the Year contender. Horizon Zero Dawn. All those different titles were single player experiences. So if I'm going to come out with an idea, Solarian, I'm going to go with a good single player with a beautiful story, well written, just like Red Dead Redemption and God of War. But guess what I'm going to also do to innovate? I'm going to not only make it a single player game with a good story and all that, I'm going to tie in the characters from the single player game and put them in the Battle Royale and make them playable. So that way, and you want to know why I'm doing that? Because when you think about just games like Apex Legends, we'll just name the characters right now. We have Bloodhound, Wraith, Caustic, Gibraltar, Lifeline, Pathfinder that looks like Bastion from Overwatch. I already said Caustic, Mirage. And then we got the newest character, Octane, and then Bangalore. I think that's all our characters that we have. Just trying to make sure I got all of them. That's all our characters. Now notice that though, from those characters, they're just in the Battle Royale. They don't have their own stories. They don't have a background, and we don't know anything about these characters. How did these guys get their powers? Look like characters like Bloodhound talk about the All-Father. And then Wraith that's invisible, that can do these abilities. How did they get their abilities? You ever wonder that? I wonder if these guys, some of you guys that play Apex Legends daily and love the game, it's a good game, but it's just not something I want to play Battle Royales every single day. There's so many other games to be experienced out there. And that's the key. So if I'm going to make my own idea for a game, it's going to be a single player game, but I'm also going to tie it in and make a Battle Royale as well. So I have a good single player campaign, a single player story that could be open world, a little bit of an open world. And I might even put in some JRPG mechanics in there where you can level up your characters and they can meet each other along the way and team up along the way for the battle sequence or the battle system. Have a battle system with the characters. They meet each other. They have their own little background stories that you could play those characters as with individual stories. Like I would say, like maybe 6 to 7 characters, a few characters here and there with a single player campaign, and then I'm also have a battle royale mode. So that way, those characters have a background story where you understand who they are, how did they get their powers, and maybe just how did they, their stories, their own individual stories of what they can, how did they start, where did they, just get their stuff from. just thinking about it, how did they get their abilities? And I'm surprised they didn't really think about that. And some of you guys might be thinking about some of those other characters. What's the story behind Bloodhound? What's the story behind Wraith and Gibraltar? How did they get their abilities? How did that all come into play? How did that all come about? See, that's what I would do for a game idea, just thinking about it. Because I want a good story, because that's the key for today. And most people skip stories today because they want to play online all the time. They go straight online, just like the Call of Duty games. And that's why I'm glad that those games are getting their stories back. And people just think, oh, single player games are dead, stories are dead. And just like the EA devs have said it. And oh, single players are dead. Oh, really? How come God of War? I want to say God of War just stand out. All those single player games continue to take the top 3 or the top 5 games of the year every time during the video or the VGAs or the gaming awards. All those single player games just make the top tier, and they always win. But you don't see a multiplayer game out there just taking the boards and taking the top tiers. The single player games still continue to stand out and take the crown year after year after year because of their story. You want to play a game with an amazing story where characters that you can get to know, and then you just feel for them, and they become lovable characters, lovable and memorable characters like Sora from Kingdom Hearts series. Let's see, Master Chief from people from who play Halo, who love the campaign. This is one of the most iconic video game characters. Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, when female characters never even really get the love and the attention span and the spotlight compared to male characters like Drake, Nathan Drake, and many other male characters. Sly Cooper, Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. There's so many male characters, and then Lara Croft is another good character. Those games are so good because they're good single player games that you really love and enjoy, and that's why that's what I would do for a game idea, because it's single player and story that's where it's at. That's where I'm gonna do it. But just to mix it up and try to get into, just take a little page out of the Battle Royale, I'm gonna have a good story, and I'm gonna also do a Battle Royale with the characters included, so that way you know the story behind the characters that's in the Battle Royale. They're not just random characters put together. Well-designed, put-together characters that are random with names, with magical abilities that you don't know anything about, that don't have a story or anything about them that you know about. How did they get their powers? How did they even just come about into this world of, what is their story? What's their goals? What's their purpose of trying to be in these games? Instead of just picking a character, get into the Battle Royale, get your loot, get your armor, get your icons, you just get your loot, get your armor, get your shields, get all the healing items and stuff like that. In the game, there's nothing really else to really do in these Battle Royale games. And that's why I think it really can get boring when you play them all the time, especially if you're trying to get it, and only if you're trying to take it to the next level. I would see players just playing Battle Royales all the time. But that's what I would do if I had a game idea. So that way it's a little bit of everything. You got a good story, some JRPG mechanics, some lovable characters and likable characters that you could get to know with a story, and they meet each other along the way, and they can join up and party up with them. Switch the teams out, switch the party members out, so you can include them for the stories and stuff, so that way they can have a chance to really stand out. So they have a story, not just some character that you're playing as, but you don't know anything about them. You just know their name and their abilities. So that's what I have to say. So that's my idea. So I would try to stand out by doing that. So I'll take a page out of the Battle Royale book, have a little Battle Royale with it, but I'll have some characters on a good story, a good lengthy story that could be probably open world with a little bit of JRPG mechanics to it, with some level up system, and good stories and characters that you meet along the way. So I would do that. And it was a question similar to that later on, but I'm going to probably switch it up. It's a couple other questions that was similar to that, but it was just asked differently. So that's what I would do. So It's Nina asked, top 3 video games I can go all the way back to the first time. See, this and questions like this is so difficult because there's so many games out there. But just to share and talk about it, these are some of the games that I grew up with. Some of these Game Boy Color. I grew up from the Sega Genesis and Game Boy Color era. Remember this? Pokemon Go. See, this cartridge is so old you can't say it. So if you had a Game Boy Color and try to play this, you have to keep it on and make sure those batteries. You have to make sure those batteries don't die. You'll have to play this game in one sitting and try to finish it. You wouldn't be able to save your progress, or it'll just delete itself. You know, it's just that old. And then I showed this in the past. Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. These are not some of my top 3 video games. These are some of my top favorite video games that I grew up playing with. But there's so many good games. And some others to mention. Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger that I like, Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter. Let's see, the Tales of series, like Tales of Graces, Tales of Exilia, some of all those JRPGs, different styles. Disgaea, I love Disgaea, Pokemon, as you already can see in the background. Some other different video games I could think of. Uncharted, the Mario games, Paper Mario, Zelda, Yoshi and Yoshi's World, GoldenEye, or Yoshi's Island, GoldenEye, Super Smash Bros. So many different games. Bomberman. So many different games that I played from back then. I'm trying to think of some others. Banjo-Kazooie, Star Fox, and then I'm just trying to think of some other. Halo, Gears of War, Sonic the Hedgehog. It's so difficult to pick a top 3. Now, if you didn't play many games, you would probably be easily able to pick your top 3. Call of Duty. Oh, and you see first-person shooters, it's just so many good ones out there that I really like. Devil May Cry, that I really just recently started playing. Just so many games. It's way too many games. Super Smash Bros. I think I already said that. I'm not sure if I did. There's so many games out there just to pick. It's way too many games to go in between to pick a top 3. But those are some of the games. It's just Mario, Spider-Man, it's Horizon, Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto. See, I almost forgot Grand Theft Auto. I love Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That's the best Grand Theft Auto game I have ever played. It's the best one, my favorite one. And then along with Vice City, I still got the games too. Grand Theft Auto 3. True Crime, Streets of LA, Streets of New York. So many different classics and memorable nostalgia games. Bully. See, it's too many. Way too many. But let's go to your boy Scoosh. Let's go to his your boy's question. Let's see what he says. He says, what is your most anticipated movie and game this year? Most anticipated game, I gotta go Last of Us 2. And then I'm gonna say Pokemon Sword and Shield, because that was brand new for me. Yeah! Alright. What is the most anticipated movie? Avengers Endgame. We got that coming up soon. Can't wait to watch that. That's my movie right there. And I always love watching the Marvel movies. Avengers Endgame. Can't wait for that. Whatever it takes. Gotta say that. Because they all said it. Whatever it takes. To bring Thanos down? Yeah. Can't wait. Those are my most anticipated movies. And then I gotta say some others real quick besides the Avengers Endgame. It Chapter 2. And then I'm gonna say that Child's Play remake. He looks really different and it looks kind of scary too. It looks scarier than the original. Cult of Chucky was not that good. And then that other new one that they came out with recently. The other 2 newest Chucky movies were not all that great. I love the original Child's Play movies. And now that they're going to try to remake it. Why do they just keep starting over remakes and trying to just start it? Why they can't just make a whole brand new one? I don't know why. But let's go to Dark's question now. So those would be my most anticipated movie. And then games, Last of Us 2, and so Pokemon Sword and Shield. And then I think also another one that just came to me, Zelda Link's Awakening. I want to see it. I never played that. That was from way back in the day. I didn't even get a chance to really play most of those games. So I would say that. I want to mention that too. But there's so many other games that's coming out. The new Metroid for the Switch. But that's been delayed. Now on to the next question. So Dark asks, if you had a chance to have more viewers, but the price was to play games you didn't enjoy, would you take it? Of course I would, because I play so many different games out there. And not everyone's going to watch the same thing. Not everyone's going to play and watch it like every single game that you play, regardless of whoever it is, whatever game that it is. It might be a different game that they might like and they might not like. Like Kingdom Hearts, for example. Not many people like Kingdom Hearts, and most don't know about it. But some people are Disney fans, so they like the game and they're interested in buying the game. So and then for Battle Royales, I don't like playing Battle Royales every single day. It gets boring. And then that's why I like playing the variety. I like switching up. Because you see the same person just playing the same thing. You know what they're going to come out with. You know what they're going to be playing. And that's why I just say I don't see how people just play the same games every single day without wanting to change it up and play something else. Don't you want to get into a different series? And any game that I play, I enjoy. Because even if I don't know too much about it, games like Deus Ex that I never have played, I really enjoy. And then some of those indie games that I never really liked indie games that much. But they were some of my personal favorite games that I ever played from PlayStation Plus for the month of PlayStation Plus games that come out every month for free for PS4. Games like Forma 8 or Forma Point 8, and in that game, that dancing game with the dancing girl called Bomb. It was really unique. It had some good games. And I didn't even think it was going to be all that good. And once you try those games, you never know how good those games could be. Even if you might not like the games, you never know until you try and pick up that controller and you play it and try it for the first time. Now, and he has some other questions. Webcam gameplay, would love to see it. Yeah, I plan to. So, you know, you can see me just laugh and die. And it's just laughing in the chair, just dying. I know he wants to see that, just laughing on the camera when something funny happens. So that's going to be even more funnier. Think you gonna shoot me down? Nah. Alright. He says his last question is, heard of Undertale. I heard of it, but I've seen gameplay of it, but I haven't played it. But it looks pretty good. I don't know what the whole story is. See, in games like that, for example, I would play those games and try them. Because it's different, so I'm just gonna automatically bash the game because it's a different game. It's not a Battle Royale game, so I'm probably not gonna play it, or something that a first-person shooter game or something like that. I don't want to learn the story. I don't want to get to know the characters or even try to find out the story. I just want everything to be action-packed. I think that's the problem with some people that just want to play the games, some of these games over and over. It gets boring. But games like Undertale is another perfect example of what I was saying. I would try those games because they're different, and there's something you hear good things about those games. And just games like just speaking of different games like Shenmue that I never played when I had a Dreamcast that shut down like hundreds of thousands of others worldwide. That was asking for a password to play the console. It just locked up, and I only got to play Sonic Adventure and Power Stone and House of the Dead from that game from the console, and then I never got a Dreamcast again because I thought the same thing was gonna happen. But games like Shenmue, I'm glad I got to experience because it was a great story, and just the combat was good, and it was one of the first open world games, and I'm glad I got to experience the collection from 1 and 2, and that's another game I got to mention out there, Shenmue 3, that's coming out this year, hopefully, if it doesn't get delayed. So Venom Plays Acts, favorite movie recommendations. So I got some movie recommendations that I listed here because I don't want to just be going all over the place. Stuff that you can check out. I don't know if you like Marvel movies at all, so you can check out like the Avengers. I don't know what kind of movies you like at all. So, and then Disney movies, I love Disney movies, Tarzan, Aladdin, Hercules, and stuff like that. Mulan, Little Mermaid. I don't know if you like Disney movies at all, and Marvel movies. Those are some of my top favorite movies. But I got some other movies for you, comedy and some horror movies. Collateral with Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise. That's one of my favorite movies that I've seen. The Incredibles, if you like that. Transporter, the Transporter series with Jason Statham, one of my favorite actors. Transporter 1 and 2, definitely Transporter 2. Transporter 2 is the best one. It's 3 Transporter movies. But Transporter 2, I definitely recommend that. But you can check them out if you want to. This movie called Quarantine, when they're trapped in like in a building, and it's some kind of disease. It's almost like the plague, and that's spread in this little apartment complex, so they just lock them in. I'm not going to spoil it or anything like that, but it's pretty good. Check it out. I'm not going to tell you everything that happens. Now, if you like comedies, I don't know if you heard about these. Friday and next Friday, Friday after that, another favorite, some movie recommendations. Stephen King's It, Stephen King's The Silver Bullet. I like all those different Stephen King movies. And I just don't know your taste in movies. So when you're watching this and hearing this, I don't know your other questions, your other movie interests that you like for movie genres and all. So I watch every type of movie, but mainly scary movies. Power Rangers, the new Power Rangers movie recently. I know it's a new one supposed to come out, and then a video game. But I don't know if you like those type of movies. Just so many different movies that you can get into. Black Panther, some other scary movies. Like the craziest movie I've ever seen is The Green Inferno. Very gory. I just didn't want to watch it again once I finished watching. Don't just cover your eyes if you go watch that. Green Inferno is wild. It's so crazy, and they got some cannibals in there. Gotta watch out for those things. So that's just a couple movie recommendations I can give you. But some favorite movies, just favorite movies so far. Just those are some of my favorites that I can really just give you and that I've watched. There's so many others that I can get into that I like. And then I'm going with classics, the black and white classics of Psycho, with Norman Bates. I like that one, and then another classic, Night of the Living Dead, that I also loved and enjoyed. So you can look those up if you want to. Never get tired of watching those. Now, Alicia, her question is, what's the best thing about being a YouTuber and a gamer? I love being a gamer because it's so many games that you can get into. It's different worlds, and I feel like I just been around the world. I feel like I've been to New York. I never been to New York before. Ever since I played Spider-Man, I only been to New York because I played the new Spider-Man from last year for PS4. A very underrated game that many people didn't really. I'm surprised that it didn't even get the love that it deserves. But it was nominated for all these awards, but it wasn't even a winner. It didn't get a single award. And I feel bad for Insomniac, because they made good games. Insomniac, Ratchet & Clank, Spiral, and they come out with a Spider-Man game that's one of the best single-player PS4 exclusives that you can get into. But it's games like that, for example, that is the reason why I love being a gamer, because you get to be and play these different roles. You could be an assassin and play as Altair or just wherever, just Ezio, any sort of assassin in Assassin's Creed. I could be a stealth agent I could be stealthy in Metal Gear Solid. I could be Sly Cooper, sneaking around, stealing from enemies and stuff like that. I could be in the sports games. I could go to the NBA, make my own character in the WWE games. I could make a character in the NBA for my player. NBA for some NBA 2K, NBA Live, whatever you like to play the most. But I could be a part of these different worlds as a gamer. And I got to be in New York. I felt like I was there. And then, just to share, I went to my first video game concert because of that event held by Marshmallow on Fortnite. That was amazing. Who would you just in the world would imagine you can go to a video game concert from your home console, from PlayStation 4 or Xbox or PC? You can attend the concert from your home. All you gotta do is just get on at the right time, and then you'll be able to get into the concert. That was record breaking and made history. That was one of my favorite parts of this year so far. Just going to a video game concert is with some of you guys to team up with, just to hang out with and wait and just dance around, jumping around, swinging pickaxes and stuff like that, jumping around, doing emotes like best mates and all that stuff. Just different stuff that you can get into. It's just so many different worlds that you could be a part of. That's what I love about being a gamer. Now, being a YouTuber, it's never the same thing. I could do videos like this and be on the camera and talk to you guys, and you guys can get to know me this way. And then I could just do a live stream. I could play whatever I want to play. I could do a movie review of something that I recently seen. Like if I saw Captain Marvel, I can make a movie review. If I want to play more Devil May Cry, I could play that and just go back to the demon world. I can go back to finishing Kingdom Hearts if I want to, and just be paired up and teamed up with Goofy and Donald and all the Disney characters in the world to battle the darkness and take on and battle and beat down on the baddies and stop them from taking over the world and save all the other Disney Pixar worlds in the universe. From Monsters Inc. to Pirates of the Caribbean to Atlantica to Little Mermaid to all these different worlds. Big Hero 6, Frozen that I never even heard about and seen. But when I play those different games, it makes you're just happy to be a gamer because there's so many different things that you can get into. It's so many, even regardless of where you play on, there's no way you have played every single game in the world. And that's what I like about this. And it's good variety. It's never the same thing. It never gets boring. It's so much fun because there's so much variety that you can do. And that's why I like playing some of these different games here on the channel and doing these type of videos. So that way it doesn't get boring and it keeps you guys entertained. And that way, you know, it stays fresh. And if I was playing the same thing every day, I would be bored. Like, I don't have nothing else to play. I don't want to try anything else different. I don't want to play a different game. I just want to keep playing the same old genre game over and over and over. And then, no wonder I don't have anything else to play. But that's why I love playing different games, and games that I either grew up playing with for retro, for nostalgia purposes, and then for the memories. And games like Silent Hill, I never even played Silent Hill before. So I might try to play that for like this year for the first time. Because I never played some of those games, and I missed out on some of them. Compared to all the different games that I grew up with, like Ape Escape, that maybe people don't know about for PS1. So many different, the original PlayStation, Tomba, Gex, that I really loved. I would love to play another Gex game, the second one. I mean, just some of those other Nintendo 64 games that I really liked. So that's why I really like doing this. It never gets boring. It's not the same thing over and over again. I'm going to check the timer, because I got another question here. So I think I'm going to do part 3. Do another part 3. And just change videos and just get to the next one. It's just going along here. And then I think I should be able to get everything out for part 3. And if I have to do a part 4, that'll be it. So I'll see you guys in part 3. I'm gonna go to the next questions here and share some soundtracks coming up.